Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm Ant Pruitt, and it's time for another smartphone photography community video highlight, if you will. I wanted to take a look at an app called Camera FV5. That's Camera FV5. I wanted to pick this app up one day because I thought about doing what's called long exposure photos with my smartphone. Now, I can get into the discussion about long exposure in another video, but what I want to talk about is what exactly is inside of the Camera FV5 app. You have things that you can adjust, such as ISO and shutter speed and a whole lot of myriad of things similar to the things that you can adjust on a regular DSLR. But I came across a setting in there and I had no idea what it was talking about. It was exposure bracketing, and it started talking about metering mode and spot metering and some other gibberish. I had no idea what it was talking about. Well, recently in a hangout on there, my man Mike Sweeney broke it down for us in the smartphone photographers community to let us know what exactly are those particular settings and how can it affect your shots. This is used in photography for DSLRs, point and shoots, and what have you. Just something to, look at the fundamentals a little bit. Check it out. What's metering mode? What is metering mode?
Metering mode is you can have basically spot metering, you can have center weighted, or you can have average. So if you look at a scene, any scene, you can, for example, if I'm shooting a face and I got the sun behind me and I use the normal average metering mode, my face is going to go dark because the light behind is so overpowering. I got so much shadow here, and the camera's trying to figure out what the average of the entire scene is, exposure-wise. If I take a spot meter and I spot meter my head or my nose or whatever, something that's in the shadow from the backlighting, the camera's smart enough to ignore everything behind me, set the metering where it exposes my face correctly regardless what happens behind me. That's spot metering. Your center weight basically takes the center of the frame, whatever it is, and then averages that, regardless of how bright the background is, regardless of how dark the center is.
Okay,
it's
so
going
wait.
to be an average of just the center part.
So it is essentially when you tap for exposure.
Right.
Well, in this case, he's showing three meterings. He's got average, which is on the left, center, which is in the center, and he's got spot on the far right. So you're telling the camera you're going to pick your exposure based on one of these three buttons, and you're going to pick one of those three buttons depending on the scene you're trying to get.
Which
has
is
nothing
used
to do with exposure per se.
Which
What
is
happens-
used in an
what happens-
average shot.
It's all about telling the camera. Average would be something like a landscape. Average is inside your house. Average is just that. It's average. It's snapshot.
So this one here would be the average one?
I
This one would be
typically
the
never use average. I typically use either center weighted or spot.
Okay.
And
I use
you
spot.
gotta be careful with spot because people say, well, I like spot because I'm always spotting right on my target. Well, that's great until you remember that your camera sensor on your smartphone has only got like a 3-stop latitude right in the dark, and you can blow your highlights really easy. So you kind of have to cut the middle there and go more with a center weight, and then change in post whatever it is you're trying to get focused on.
All right, there you have it. That's exposure bracketing settings inside a Camera FV5 or any application that allows you to adjust that setting. Thank you to my man Mike Sweeney for helping us out and helping us to understand what exactly that is and how can we use it in our different photos that we take. Be sure to check out Sweeney on his website at msmedia.me or look him up in iTunes and you'll see his book, Amazing Photos with Your iPhone. So just look him up in iTunes. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click like and subscribe on this video so you can get this content on a regular, and check us out on smartphone-photographers.com. I'm Ant Pruitt, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.